Nick speaking, and welcome to this video. Right, a battle report. It's going to be Eldar versus Blood Angels. So this is my first outing with the new codex. This is my revamped Mechdar list, just basic stuff, basically using the units that I normally would take, bar from the brand new Crimson Hunter conversion that I've got there. First time using that, it's going to be interesting to use it. I've upgraded it to the X-Art. Got the faithful Lord of War now, as he is, the Wraith Knight with the Scatter Shield. 3 Wave Serpents. The Wave Serpent there with the blue piece on the top there, that's just magnetised. It's 5 Dire Avengers in that one, 5 Dire Avengers in that one. And that one there with the purple stone is the Wraith Guard, and that's the Spirits here in there as well. Have a Valken. That's got Bright Lance on there. Nothing inside, that's just an empty tank. We then have 2 Fire Prisms. They're individual units, and then 3 squads of 3 jet bikes. They've all got scatter lasers tonight, even though obviously they're being proxied there with not the proper guns, so I have to get around to that at some point. So that is the army. I ran out of table space, so I didn't get all of the units that are inside the tanks out. But what I have done is I've set the board up. I'm just waiting for my buddy to come. So as I'm playing Eldar, I've got my Eldar piece of terrain out there. So a little story behind it. The webway there has just come up from the ground as the Eldar approach to have a look at this Necron tomb world. In the meantime, coincidentally, the Blood Angels have also come to investigate this Necron tomb world because it's deserted at the moment. Okay, so looking forward to my buddy coming. It's going to be a great game, I'm sure. So yeah, more to come. Okay, so here we go. We've rolled off, we're playing the Scouring. I'm currently going first, so I have deployed. I've got a big guy in the middle there. The tanks either side, with the 2 Fire Prisms heading up the edges. We are playing Scouring, as I said. We've got objectives, 1 objective just there. 1 over there, 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, and 1 over there. So pretty heavy on the Blood Angels side. Blood Angels have changed their army up this week, and they're actually playing a Mech list as well. So it's Mech versus Mech. So Blood Angels are trying to make use of this ruined building as much as possible. They've deployed a Vindicator. There is another Vindicator over behind that building there, along with a Dreadnought with autocannons. There's 3 Dreads over this side, 2 Librarians and another autocannon Dread. And there's 2 Lass Predators. In reserve will be 2 Whirlwinds. They haven't been deployed, mainly because there's nothing they can hit at the moment. And then we've got a couple of tactical units in Rhinos. 2 units of scouts and 3 speeders. Are they individual, are those? That one? Or 1 unit of speeders. So, as I said, I'm currently going first. I'm going to try and seize the initiative. Yep. So it's an initiative roll coming up. It's a 3. So it will be Eldar turn 1. Okay, so that was Eldar turn 1. I focused all of my attention on trying to get first blood. So I had a Dread just peeking out from the building there. Decided to go for that because that's armour 12 on the side there. So I lined up all 3 of the Fire Prism, the Wave Serpents. Didn't shoot the shields, just the scatter lasers on the top. All 12 shots from all 3 and no 6s, so I did nothing. I then proceeded to shoot the Wraith Knight. His scatter laser also missed. However, I got 3 dead-on shots from his big gun. Just 1 bullet through, and he saved it with a cover save. So not very successful that side of the table. This side of the table, there's a Vindicator there at the front, so I've decided to use my sort of lance weaponry. This Fire Prism lined up for a side armour shot. Managed to get a glancing hit, and he didn't get his cover save from that ruin, so that was 1 whole point gone. I then shot this Fire Prism over, and I managed to get a weapon destroyed, but with the randomisation I only managed to kill just the bolt thing on the top. So down to 1 whole point. I then shot my Valken, my last attempt to get first blood. The Bright Lance missed, and the other big gun there, only one bullet through, and I failed to penetrate. So no first blood, pretty poor round of shooting I think, to be fair, but that's the way it goes as we move into turn 1 for the Blood Angels. Okay, so that was turn 1 for the Blood Angels, and that was pretty scary as they bared their guns on me. The first shot came in on the Wraith Knight from the Dread behind the building there. Managed to save that, and then the Blood Angels quickly focused their attention on the tanks instead. The Vindicator popped out there, shot this Wave Serpent. I didn't jinx, didn't get my vulnerable save through. I was immobilised and obviously lost a whole point, although I did roll a 2, so even if I had jinked, the same result would have happened. Now over here the tanks moved up and they all focused all of their firing on this middle tank here. I did jink on that one. I lost 2 whole points, still survived, so I didn't give first blood away, but my tanks are looking a little bit vulnerable there at the moment. Okay, so that was it for turn 1. We did finally remember to turn the objectives over. So point wise we have a 2-point objective there. That's also a 2-pointer. Over the other side of the table there, that is a 3-pointer. By the Vindicator, that's a 1-pointer. Over here we've got 3 points, and right on the flank here we've got the 4-point objective. Okay, so we're going to move in now to turn 2 for the Eldar. I have my reserves. So first of all the Crimson Hunter, that's out, and then the 3 squads of jet bikes. All out, so everything is out for the Eldar. Turn 2 coming up. Okay, so that was Eldar turn 2, and almost a perfect round for me. So I brought the jet bikes on just over in this corner, in this area. All 3 units with their scatterlators shot and wrecked that predator there, so that was first blood for me. They moved back behind this piece of terrain in their jump movement in the assault phase. I repositioned the 3 Wave Serpents and brought the Crimson Hunter on up over here. The Crimson Hunter managed to successfully take out the Dreadnought that was there, and then I shot all 3 of the Wave Serpents up over, not the Dreadnought, sorry, he took out the Vindicator. These 3 tanks took out the Dreadnought that was up over there, so cleared out those ranks. Over this side, the fire prism there, and the other fire prism right the way over there, they come up over here and shot the Dreadnought just on the right hand side there. I managed to get 2 hull points off of him. And then the only thing really that went bad for me was the Wraith Knight, who I've just realised I forgot to shoot, and B, I failed my assault range all the time. I was just going to assault that Predator, try and take out the other last cannons there, but he failed miserably. But apart from that, it was a very good round for me. As we move into turn 2 for Blood Angels, and of course they do have all of their reserves, so there's still plenty of game left over. Okay, turn 2 there for the Blood Angels, and I would say it's actually a pretty successful turn considering pretty much no reserves came on. The only reserves that came on were a tactical squad in that Razorback, yep. That came on, and then over this side of the table the speeders with their heavy bolters came on, but everything else got 1s and 2s for the reserve rolls. So what happened? My flyer, which is no longer there, has been taken out. Received some shots from the Dreadnought over there, and then finishing me off with the heavy bolters from there. Over this side at the back here, I've also lost my Valken. That was shot out by the last cannons on that Predator. In the assault phase, and Librarian Dread there, who now has a force weapon and also plus a 2 on the initiative through psychic powers, tried to assault my Wraith Knight. My Wraith Knight did take a wound from something, I can't remember what. Oh yeah, the last cannon from the Razorback at the back there. So I did take a wound. He tried to assault me, but was out of range even with the fleet re-roll. So that was the end of that turn. So now we're going to move on to turn 3 for the Eldar. I have no reserves, so let's see what we can do now. Okay, so that was my turn 3. So I moved the jet bikes up once again to this area. And I managed to take out the other predator that was in the building there. He did get his cover saved, but unsuccessful, so managed to take that out. Over this side of the table, I basically used the 3 serpents. The 2 front ones used their shield. And I targeted the skimmers which are there. Managed to get all the skimmers wrecked, apart from one, and he's just on 1 hull point. I thought I'd try and take him out, so I did shoot the fire prism at him, but he managed to get his jink save. The other squad of jet bikes just turbo boosted all the way over there behind that building. There are more reserves to come in, of course. This fire prism here, he shot over at one of the dreads, but managed to save him. And then the knight, he moved from that position where he was before, just over there. He proceeded to shoot. He did get the librarian dread just there, down to 1 wound. Assaulted the other librarian dread. Bearing in mind he's obviously got that shoot at 2 targets rule. And I managed to kill him. I did take a wound from overwatching a flamer. Yeah, difficult to hit me with snipers and poison, but not a flamer. And that was it. So yeah, we're going to move on now to turn 3 for the Blood Angels. As I said, still got some reserves. There's still plenty to play for in this game as we move on to turn 3 for the Blood Angels. Okay, so turn 3 for the Blood Angels. The reserves came in, not all of them, still a Rhino, Razorback left with some tacticals in, but just behind the corner there, behind that building, is 2 squads of scouts. They're assault scouts, they just came on and ran behind the building, and the skimmer just made way behind the building as well, just trying to protect itself. Over there I took some shots from the last cannons and from the assault auto cannon. On this wave serpent here I did jink, but I did lose 2 wounds, and I got a can't shoot an external result as well on it. Hull points, not wounds. However, I did lose some wounds over here because you can see my Wraith Knight, who you can't see so it's not focused. There you go. My Wraith Knight is gone. I got assaulted by that librarian. He had the quickening on him, which gave him D3 extra attacks, and also force weapons, although the force weapon didn't make any difference because I was already dead. So that's the Wraith Knight gone, just consolidated there. The 2 whirlwinds, they came on up over behind that building, and they decided to shoot my bikes. One scattered slightly but got a couple of wounds through. I saved them all, and the other one was a dead on hit, but I saved everything, so they did quite well. So that is it. So we're going to move on now to turn 4 for the Eldar. Okay, so that was the Eldar turn 4. So over on this side of the table I moved the fire prism up onto that 4-point objective just there. I just repositioned the 2 movable wave serpents, bearing in mind that this one here is immobilized. In range for the librarian dread, he was just on 1 wound. He did have a 4+ cover save, plus that wave serpent just there had to shoot jink, but I did manage to take the wound off in the end, but it wasn't from any of the wave serpents, it was from the fire prism just there. The other fire prism over this side of the table just shot at the other dread, but he managed to get his cover save. And then the bikes umming about shooting the dread or the little peekaboo whirlwind, which I was able to get because they were originally there. I shot, got 1 pen and 1 glance. The glance got through, the pen was saved. I just moved in the assault phase just there. I'm trying to group my bikes together in very small, bunched up, just basically taking a chance that the whirlwinds will scatter rather than getting a dead on, rather than spreading them out, because if I did that, then even if they scatter, they'd probably hit me. So that's it. So we're going to move in now to turn 4 for the Blood Angels, and they've still got their reserves to come in, so there's another Razorback coming in, and turn 4 for the Blood Angels. Okay, so that was turn 4 there for the Blood Angels. So the Rhino, Razorback came on just up over there. Shot my Wave Serpent here. I was on 1 whole point left. I did jink, but I couldn't save it. And the Wraithguard got out along with the Spirit Seer. They took a pinning check, but they weren't pinned. And then the other Razorback, which is hiding all the way up over behind that building, he shot here. I was again on 1 whole point. I jinked, didn't save it, so he was destroyed. And then my Dire Avengers got out. They weren't pinned. They took 2 shots from the Whirlwinds. 1 scattered off, the other 1 hit. I lost 3 of those, and I didn't fail my morale check, so I didn't run. Behind the building up over there, the scouts are just moving around along with the speeder, and that was pretty much it. So we're now looking at turn 5, potentially the last turn for the Eldar, coming up. Okay, so that was my turn 5. So I started off over this side of the table. I basically moved and then turbo boosted the bikes around that 4-point objective, just trying to block any paths there. Nothing I really could do here. I'm sort of just standing there on the objective. This one is immobilised anyway, and of course that is destroyed. The Dire Avengers made a play towards that objective, moved and ran, but didn't get too far. So I moved the Fire Prism flat out onto that 3-point objective just there. The bikes, both units of bikes shot the dread that was in the building. No, sorry, 1 unit shot the dread that was in the building, managed to take that whole point off. So the other bikes ended up shooting at the Whirlwind just behind there. I did get 1 more whole point off, so it's just on 1 whole point there. I then moved both units of bikes in the assault phase up onto that 2-point objective, and this one onto this 2-point objective. I'm pretty surrounded. I'm on the objectives, but it's still turn 5 for the Blood Angels, and the game of course could go on. More to come. Okay, turn 5 there for the Blood Angels as they make a play on the potentially last turn. So the skimmer popped out there and managed to take out all of my jet bikes with the heavy bolters. The scouts moved and ran, only ran 1 inch though. So that 4.1 is currently my objective. Over here the scouts, they came out to this side of the building, moved and ran up to that objective there. I can't quite see it, it's a 1 pointer, yeah? So there's 1 point there for the Blood Angels. The tank there moved fast and contested that objective, so that is currently a no one's. This Rhino came up, and Razorback came up and again moved fast, but that objective is still currently mine. I did lose a jet bike from the Whirlwind. I wasn't pinned and I managed to pass my morale check, so that 2.1 is mine, as well as that one. Of course over here I've got this one still with the Wraithguard on that 3-pointer, so I'm a good number of points up, but we're going to roll off now and see if the game continues. A 5 it does, so we're going to move in now to turn 6 for the Eldar. Okay, so turn 6 there for Eldar. So over on this side of the table, moved the Fire Prism, shot it at the scouts, managed to kill 3 of them. They didn't run. Turbo boosted the jet bikes that were over there, all the way over to this one, just to reinforce some troops on that 4-point objective. Nothing really I could do here. I did shoot the shield that hadn't shot over on the scouts. They found morale and they ran. Moved the 2 lone Dire Avengers up to that objective. They're probably going to die next turn, but you know, make a play for that. And then here I managed to wreck that Razorback with the jet bikes that are holding that 2-point objective. The guys got out, and then I shot the Fire Prism at them, and took out a big bunch of those. Just 2 guys left. They were pinned from getting out of the tank. And that's pretty much it. So we're going to go now to turn 6 for the Blood Angels. Okay, so turn 6 there for the Blood Angels. So over this side of the table, I lost the 2 jet bikes again from that speeder. Very annoying because I had a good chance of killing that earlier. But yeah, it took out my 2 jet bikes, and then the scouts came up, assaulted my fire prism. 1 whole point taken off. But yeah, that's now the Blood Angels objective. So that's 4 points to the Blood Angels. Of course, I'm still on this one, so that's 3 points to me. Over here, the guys got out of the Razorback, shot my 2 Dire Avengers as predicted. That gives a 3-point objective there to the Blood Angels. Over this side, these guys snapped and my bikes did no damage. The Whirlwinds both shot at these jet bikes. I lost 1 jet bike. I didn't fail morale, so I'm just on that 2-point objective there. I'm also on this 2-point objective with the fire prism. So we're actually totally equal, 7 points each in terms of objectives. However, I do have First Blood and Slay the Warlord, so I'm currently 2 points up. I'm going to see if the game goes on though. A 1. No, the game ends. So a very, very close game in the end, and very, very enjoyable. So I really hope you enjoyed the battle reports. Thanks for watching as always, and watch out for some more Eldar content coming soon.